Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's 10 o'clock, August 16th, 2022. And we're first going to look at the satellite. We had a lot of cirrus clouds around, and the reason why you'll see in a minute. Look at all this activity offshore here. Now, the NHC never really gave this. It almost looked like this thing started having tropical characteristics. Look at those thunderstorms firing up there. This is this low pressure system off the coast here. And again, you could see it actually starts to spin a little bit there, and you can see all that convection. It almost looks somewhat tropical in nature, though the NHC never really gave it you could clearly see this has a very tropical look to it. But they never really, if we go to the NHC, you'll see that it never really gave it nothing. So, nothing really to talk about. If we could actually go to the Tropical Tidbits homepage, and you can see, nothing really brought up here either about these storms. So, kind of interesting to say the least. And, as a result of this rather interesting little coastal storm, you could see some small craft and rough surf advisories in effect for these areas. And if we click on that, you'll see high surf advisory in effect for New England. We won't be seeing that. They will be getting the rain, as you know, but we are not going to be getting much rain at all. And right now, temperatures on Long Island right around 70 degrees, and pretty much right around 70 degrees. Dew point's a little higher today, a little more humidity with more of an onshore flow. So dew point's gotten to the mid-60s. If you look at the day at Islip, you'll see that more of that. Had a pretty strong easterly onshore component today, though the winds were kind of east, almost east-northeast at times. So it was that kind of kept it a little cooler today. Highs were generally in the low 8. No, actually got to the mid-80s. Surprisingly, at Islip. There was, like I said, there was an onshore component, but it wasn't a direct onshore component. But you could see the dew points were lower actually earlier on in the mid-50s, but then they started rising as we got to the evening, as that more of a southeasterly component came up. But it was more of an easterly wind more than anything, and that tended to keep our entire area cool. Let's take a look at what the highs were today across the area. And you'll see here, highs generally in the mid-80s. So we were in the mid-80s today, despite the easterly wind, because it was a little more out of the northeast. Actually cooler on the Jersey Shore with that easterly wind coming right in off the water. Because you're going to remember, easterly wind on Long Island's going to cross the whole island, whereas the Jersey Shore, you can see, was actually a little cooler there, interestingly enough. So let's go and look at keeping it with a maritime thing. You see we also got the high rip current risk because of that. Yes, you can see the radar. We'll get to that in a moment. And we got a rip current statement as well because of those easterly winds as well. But I want to keep things in the marine realm, and we're going to look at the sea surface temperatures, the latest observations on sea surface temperatures offshore right now. Let's see what we have offshore. So sea surface temperatures have dropped a little bit because of that easterly wind. You'll notice that sea surface temperatures now are closer to normal, generally around 72, 73, even sat down to 75 at Texas Tower, which is interesting. So yeah, all these places here, the sea surface temperatures have dropped as a result of those easterly winds, which is good news. There'll be more of a sea breeze effect. So let's go to that radar now. And you'll see here, you see all that rain there. We'll put it in the loop. It's too bad we're not getting any of that. That's all over New England. At least they're going to get some help for their drought. But for us, unfortunately, we are not. All that's going to probably stay off to our east. But still, really impressive to see that on the radar there. It almost looks like a tropical system because of just the nature of it. You look at its appearance on satellite and radar, but not really. Let's go and look at the Accuweather Radar. So here it is right here. So this is a pretty sizable area of rain that's going to be impacting New England, and they're going to get some relief to their drought. But for us, unfortunately, we are not going to see that. So let's go. No. Let's go to the models now, and you'll see here's your low right here. So we're going to take a little bit of a closer look. We'll go to the eastern U.S. view. So here's your low right here, and it's going to actually intensify and tighten up off the Cape. You'll see all that rain is pretty much just east of Long Island, but the Cape, coastal New England, they're going to get quite a bit of rain out of it, and some wind too, as this storm kind of intensifies right in that spot there, which is rather interesting. But again, for us, we're on the dry side of it, and we're not going to see much, if any, rain. As you see, that goes well into New England, and that's the problem that we have, is we'll be missing out on the rain. So if we look at the total accumulated precip on the GFS here, you'll see, look at this. So you'll see New England is going to get at least an inch, maybe 1 to maybe even some areas, especially along the coast, getting 2 inches of rain from this. So it's very good news for them. Their drought is going to be almost over, but for us, it's going to continue. So let's go to the HRRR right now, and we will go and look at the HRRR model. The 0Z run of the HRRR, as we get to watch this storm here come so tantalizingly close. So here we are, and you can see it is actually trying to spread some rain over the east end. It'll be very light. But mostly it's going to be over the Cape and coastal New England. But you'll see it's close enough that we may get an instability pop-up shower or thunderstorm tomorrow, perhaps. And it's throwing some more rain over the east end, maybe over tomorrow. This is mainly of the light variety. It won't be enough to help the drought, but maybe moisten the ground a little bit, you know. But then as we get to Thursday, you'll see it pulls away. Though it still wants to generate a scattered shower of thunderstorms pop up just due to some instability in the air. So we have to see if that even materializes. I mean, it's just a scattered thing. We need the soaking that they're getting in New England. But unfortunately, if we look at the total accumulated precip here right through the end of the period, you'll see it's mainly New England that's getting it. But look at this. You'll see here 1 to 2 inches coastal Massachusetts, and they need it badly because they're in even a worse drought than we are. So hopefully that means eventually we'll get some relief, but unfortunately not anytime soon. This was the system that was supposed to bring the rain. Originally last week we were looking at these systems saying, "Oh, finally, we're gonna get some of that rain." But unfortunately, we're not gonna see any of it. So let's go look at the dew points and wind flow as we get into tomorrow, and there will be some changes. That easterly flow is going to become more northerly tomorrow. You'll see that more northerly. So that'll bring a bit of a drop in the dew points probably, except where maybe a pop-up shower coming. That's mainly because of the instability. And then winds go more northwesterly, and then as we get into Thursday, we get into more of that westerly flow, which will drop the dew points, but it'll also mean warmer temperatures. And you can see it looks like it's trying to generate a sea breeze as we get toward later into Thursday night. So let's go look at our temperatures, and you'll see how this all translates. So, you know what? I forgot to show you the lows on here. That's right. I knew I was forgetting something. We apologize. We'll look at the lows. We'll look at that radiational cooling that we had last night. So 54 at West Hampton. Lows generally in the low 60s, mid 60s. You had a little more toward Nassau County, upper 60s in the city. And it's nice radiational cooling also in New Jersey as well, in the Pine Barrens there with mid-50s. All right, getting back to the forecast here. So tonight we probably won't see those lows because of the wind, so probably only mid-60s for lows. And then as far as tomorrow goes, you'll see it's going to be a cool day tomorrow. We may not even hit 70. We're going to struggle to get to 70. And you can see some of that cooling that's going on that's being wrapped around this low-pressure system, so it's going to bring the temperatures down into the 70s, low 70s, especially on Long Island. You'll see New Jersey will be a little warmer. And then as we get toward Thursday, you can see it's a lot hotter with temperatures back to the mid-80s with that more of that westerly flow. All right. So let's go look at some of the other models out there as far as the precipitation goes, because, you know, it's just tantalizingly close, and it's extremely frustrating to not be getting this. So I know nobody wants a rainy day, but we really need some rain around here. It's serious. So let's go to the I don't have enough of the 0Z NAM, so we're going to look at the 18Z NAM, and you'll see again, look at that heavy rain just miss us. NAM doesn't want to produce any instability showers. It's the HRRR that's doing that. I don't know. If that happens, it'll be very scattered. But you'll see, again, there's your storm, and you can see how it just tightens up right there. And it's going to bring some wind, too. We look at those tighter. We look at the winds here. You'll see some pretty strong winds around the center of this. So it could kick up the surf even on Long Island and on the Cape, too. That's where you'll start seeing some of the stronger winds. All right, if we look at the GFS, which we'll go ahead and look at that next, you'll see, again, there's your wind field. So it does tighten up. Gives us a nice little wind field there. Like I said, it almost looks somewhat tropical in nature. You can see, and again, you can see some wind gusts up, wind sustained. So it's going to be like a little nor'easter there for for New England and the Cape, but for us, unfortunately, no rain. So let's go look at the sky. Let's go look at the temperatures on the GFS, and we'll see how it compares to the other models. So as we get into tomorrow, you'll see it does keep it cooler, which tendency to be maybe some more clouds around, perhaps those cooler temperatures, less over New Jersey. But then Thursday we warm back up again with the sunshine, and then Friday, here we are warming up again. And the weekend looks a little on the warm side. All right, probably won't be 90 here, but could be in New Jersey. We'll be well into the 80s, and the dew points will also be on the rise too. So as we look toward Friday, you'll see more of that southwesterly flow bringing in some more humidity by the weekend. All right, and unfortunately, if we're looking for rain chances, we're not really going to see many for the weekend. We're going to have to wait till next week. That's when we have some next chances. But you know what happens? This week looked like we were going to get some rain, and then it fizzled. So don't get your hopes up too high about that. Let's go look at the cloud cover situation. And you'll see here for Wednesday, it looks like it has scattered cloud cover, so partly sunny. This is the GFS. And then for Thursday, it'll probably become mostly sunny and more sun to the south. So if you're in New Jersey, you'll probably have more sun, north less sun. And then for Friday, we should have plenty of sunshine. And then some clouds skirting us by on Saturday with the system passing to the south. And then Sunday, we'll probably have a good deal of clouds. Probably won't be a clear sky. And again, today we had a lot of junk in this. The sky was really junked up looking, so you can see what it looked like. There's a lot of cirrus and contrails too, which, unlike the other days where we had the ultracumulus, there's just a lot of contrails, and that's what the sunset looked like. See, kind of pretty if you can get the contrails out of it. But those contrails, I hate them. So let's go to the RGM here, and this is the 18Z RGM. We'll look at the skies here. So, and again, here's tomorrow. So you see the clouds that will have some intervals of clouds and sun probably. And there might be some, like I said, some sunny skies over in certain parts of the day. And then for Thursday, that's when we'll probably see more in the way of sunshine, though it still wants to wrap some clouds around on Thursday. Friday, we would probably start with mostly sunny and then some increasing cirrus. But other than that, we're staying dry, and that's the problem. We need the rain badly. We're not getting it. And that is a big problem. So we'll have to see. But if you're out east, like I said, the Hampton, especially Montauk, you might pick up a quarter of an inch. But for the rest of us, it's doubtful. Maybe a scattered shower. I mean, we can go into the Ventus sky, and we can look at the thunderstorm potential as we go into tomorrow. Let's move this to Wednesday here, because I know the HRRR was showing some scattered thunderstorms. Cape, nothing severe. Go to lifted index here. It's not really that impressive either, so this is why I don't think we'll see any thunderstorms tomorrow, and if there are any, they'd be very small, and it's just mainly due to the instability with the wrap around with the low that we have, but you can see it's not very good, the instability. So yeah, it was staying dry. Unfortunately, the drought continues to worsen, and again, that rain is tantalizingly close, but unfortunately we will not be getting much of any, and we'll have to wait a little longer or a lot longer. So again, what I say, be careful out there. So have a good night. Thank you for watching.